some of the contents, by which you mean most of the things except for the whole thing about a certain character's gender, I suppose. So the collection is called Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Just because Apollo Justice appears in all three games, that doesn't mean it's a fitting title. Heck, Phoenix Wright's name appears in two of the three games that are bundled. Though to be honest, not sure what else they could have called it. Wait, effects? This game has effects that you can turn off? What effects? Still no Spanish? Come on, Capcom! Give us a Spanish mode! May I ask why the Apollo Justice game key art is used for that game, but for Dual Destinies it's the episode art for Turnabout Academy, and for Spirit of Justice it's the foreign Turnabout? Do they really need to showcase all three lawyers at the same time? Also, you don't see it in this footage, but I think it's a bit annoying that the game doesn't always just pit you at the game you were playing last before exiting the application, unless you've been playing it a bunch. All I gotta ask is, why doesn't it always work that way? I think while it's a good idea to have some neutral backgrounds that's accessible across all three games, some options are ridiculous. How does one associate Simon Blackwell with Apollo Justice, or Nayuta Sunmati with Dual Destinies, or Clavier Gavin with Spirit of Justice? The answer's simple. You don't, because they don't appear in those respective games. What are some orchestral arrangements from Trials and Tribulations tracks doing in an Apollo Justice game bundle? Why doesn't the Pursuit theme for Apollo Justice have the variation in the orchestra hall, but the other two games do have it? I know that's the song Athena sings, which is different from what DePlume heard a year back, but why is that the track title? It's not really her song. Oh, would you listen. The title screen music for Spirit of Justice, which you don't even get to hear anywhere else in the 2024 bundle except in the orchestra hall. They even included the music tracks performed by Andy Stanton right down to the accompanying blips for his vocals. I'm surprised they didn't upgrade the Steel Samurai theme for Spirit of Justice like they did with other old GBA DS tracks. The music gets downgraded for some of the museum options, and you don't let us listen to that version in the orchestra hall? Yeah, one of the original ideas for Apollo was to have a wristwatch, which made people wonder about the significance of this item. That's how Takumi came up with the idea of the perceive mechanic, and put an eye in the watch, before of course becoming the bracelet. Now, I don't know about you, but an eye in a wristwatch sounds pretty far-fetched for a series that has spirit mediums in it. You know, Apollo, I think Phoenix is going to want his beanie back. What is that wand Drussy's holding, which we never see in-game? The way Wesley Stickler looks in these images, is it possible maybe he did just want a good look at some random panties? If you got weirded out by this Ichabod Crane looking fella, here's a drawing of him in his underwear. Do you feel uncomfortable now? Someone put pencil to paper, thinking one idea for Winston Payne's return to this game to be, let's make him chubby. Nothing to say except it's not Hickfield, it's Hottie. I don't give a crap if you change the name because you didn't take the pervert out. Yes, I know that change was made in the actual game, but still, perverted fake clinic director is still here! There's some missing images, so let me just send them all at once. No, I'm pretty sure it's the detention center from 2026, not 2019. I'm surprised they even bothered including the opening of Phoenix's locket containing Trucy, but no locket opening to reveal Thalassa. But we got Vera fainting at the stand, Phoenix in the Mason system, and Kristoff's final laughing fit at the end of the trial. It's funny how prominent Clavier appears in this poster, but only gets a role in one episode. Even Edgeworth, who's way in the back, had more involvement in the story, despite also only appearing in one episode, that being the game's finale. I'm sorry, I can't get over Apollo's face in this image. It's like the automatic shutter is going, about to take the picture, and Apollo's leaning in at the last possible second like he wasn't originally meant to be in the frame to start with. Let that be an indicator of just how much involvement he really gets in the game compared to Phoenix and Athena. I wonder what pushed them to decide Phoenix should have one spike dangling in front of his forehead, other than for it to be something for Blackwell to cut off during his animations. It shows a wild side, I guess, but I personally prefer his younger rookie design. He already feels like a rookie all over again in court anyway. Who the heck is that in the bottom right? What are half of these designs? Freaking royalty? So we got sheets for Marlon Rhymes, but not for his transformation. Got it. So you got all the characters neatly lined up, including the dead victims showing how they died. Doesn't that seem a bit unnecessary? They must have figured the scroll was so long, let's make it so you had to enlarge in order to look at the whole thing. Episode 1 takes place solely in the courthouse, yet these images don't really look like the proper backgrounds at all. In fact, are most of these backgrounds just concept art? Because that would explain a lot. I thought we were looking at backgrounds, not props. Does that say Hat 3? It's the Hat 2 that blew up. Too bad we don't get to see the orchestrature in moving action in the actual game. You gotta love how Blackwell looks like he's got a big role, even when he's only in one episode. Meanwhile, Guide is in 3 episodes, yet he's not as prominent in this poster. Let's not shove Athena too far back, despite how small of a role she actually plays in the game, even in the DLC episode. Then put Maya all the way up front. I mean, yeah, she plays a big part in the story, but mostly as the damsel in distress. Look at the clothes Rafa could have worn, but then people at Capcom decided, nah, we need to see more of those 14-year-old shoulders. Do some of these even close to resemble a monk? Bald! 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 That image in the bottom left makes Dirk looks like some Russian general. What's he got in this sketch? The Infinity Gauntlet? Just think, 5 years after Spirit of Justice is released, we in America will learn that what Apollo's wearing is the uniform worn by Nipponese university students. Also, Phoenix looks like he's got one heck of a Halloween costume, or he's just getting back at that one guy who impersonated him. Guess they decided not to have the victims' bodies on this sheet. Honestly, I actually thought it was morbidly hilarious. I'm sorry. It's not fair the Spirit of Justice gets this commemorative. The gallery videos for Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice all consist of anime cutscenes from their respective games. Yet for Apollo Justice, and only for Apollo Justice, it's a mix of the opening cutscenes and use of the animation studio.
The Kingdom of Khura'in.
Narration. Yeah, I'm sending the Spirit of Justice prologue in this at the same time.
What's the point of a court that only doles out guilty verdicts?
Actually, that's a good question. Even if the act of lawyering itself hasn't been banned entirely, you might as well just execute literally anyone who is suspected of breaking the law immediately.
These pork buns were frozen at the time of the crime, so it's possible they were solid enough to bludgeon someone to death with. Silence!
That slash is tantamount to practically destroying evidence. Athena, are you eating evidence?
Well, what are we waiting for? There's evidence to be found, so let's do this! I'm so hungry!
That's not what Widget sounded like in Dual Destinies.
Ready to go?
Maya disrobes in front of a 9-year-old kid. Maya, can we talk? Please tell me those aren't the same pork buns presented during the trial. Upgrade your phone, dude! It's 2028!
Oh, you poor, pitiful, unenlightened soul.
What do you want?
Gee, what would one of the most well-known holy men in the Kingdom of Khura'in possibly want with a rogue holding a hostage? Did Nayuta? Did he chop that sucker down? Oh, Phoenix, what the heck are you thinking leaving the suitcase right there? Gotcha! Why doesn't the gotcha line come with a speech bubble in the animation studio? No, trust me, there's a difference. His eyes and mouth are wider.
Objection!
Of course, the Phoenix Wright voice lines are Sam Riegel universally due to allegations against the original voice Ben Judd. Though, if we want to talk consistency, maybe bring over Apollo's voice lines and Clavier's objection from Dual Destinies also. I know we never see Trilogy using Mr. Hat in the courtroom itself, but come on guys, let us live a little. Just a little bit. See, these two are different because the shading over his face. I can understand not wanting to cancel some of these breakdowns because the ones from Apollo Justice aren't really that long, but the breakdowns in later games are much longer. Why would they just not allow me to cancel these animations? Why are some of these sprites only accessible behind the witness stand? We do see Olga outside the courtroom at a few points. This one's so lame, I'm surprised that it needs to be an unskippable animation. It's just a damage animation with more feathers. You mean to tell me I can't just toggle between Machi and Lemurar talking each animation? I could do it with Trilogy and Mr. Hat. You'd be hard-pressed to see all the drawings Vera can make in this one animation while viewing them in the animation studio. Why not call this animation Surprised Cold Sweat? But that's the witness stand, not the desk. At no point in Dual Destinies I can name does Athena slam the desk twice in a row. That happens in Spirit of Justice. How dare you put in Clavier so early in the Dual Destinies catalog like he's a major character in Dual Destinies? No animation of Taka scratching himself while resting on the judge's head? How dare you, putting Pearl so early in the Dual Destinies catalog like she's a major character in Dual Destinies? So there's only options to see LaBelle with yellow hair, nothing for blue, purple, or green hair. Boo! Robin still has moments of yelling like a maniac or smashing pottery even after she's revealed her true gender to the court. Aristotle Means can do the writing on the chalkboard, but we don't even get to see what he's actually writing. Not even a single animation of the Phantom ripping off his masks. Just the final breakdown, we're leaving together, we'll all miss her so. No animation of Sasha re-inflating her water wings. So there's no way to change the angle of the rooms you're in, is there? Dang. No special animation of him tossing his glove, revealing the symbol of the Defiant Dragons on the palm of his hand? How dare you, putting Blackwell so early in the Spirit of Justice catalog like he's a major character in Spirit of Justice. Maya Fey plays a bigger part than him. You don't really need to call these slashes a success anymore because he's not even in chains anymore. Nah, that's not a tablet. I'm pretty sure it'd have been wider than her hand if it was a tablet. That's a flat-out smartphone. How dare you, putting Pearl so early in the Spirit of Justice catalog like she's a major character in Spirit of Justice. No breakdown for once it's revealed they're twins? What about the animations for when he's anonymous? Where's that special animation of Uendo transforming into Owen? I'm surprised they didn't just put Amara and Nana in separate categories, even though really they're the same person. Great job, kid, you got all the accolades. Here's an extra one as a bonus. These ones are hilarious because they basically say, well done, you know how to play the game.